everything, yeah. My everything is you, Lord. Yeah. Ha-ha. Oh, 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 oh. Everybody say, ah. Say, oh, oh. Say, how can I express my gratitude for all the many things you've done for me? Words are not enough, yeah. Enough to say thank you. Say, Lord, you are my everything. You're my everything. How can I express my gratitude? How can I express my gratitude for all the many things, Father, you done for me, yeah. Words are not enough to say thank you. Say, Lord, you are, you're my everything. Say, I call you Jireh. Lord, my provider. I call you Nisi. You are my battle. I call you Rapha. Hey. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are. You're my everything. I call you Jireh. Lord, my provider. I call you Nisi. You are my battle. I call you Rapha. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are. You're my everything. Oh, you're my thing, you know. Oh, you're my thing, you know.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your location. Mema obi bia kwaba. Eba yedwumedi a every Friday bia yede bremo. Enen so adom ne ahwe ye nti no yenya ahoden na yede bremo. A very special month your friend Love Month. Emo ne we ne 2nd of February 2024. Na kire say yira February mo pa na obia kyerɛ dɔ enti no saa na mɛkɔ so asrɛ mo sɛ onya baa so akyerɛ wo dɔ by sharing the program, subscribing to our YouTube channel, na afei nso no like page no na monyɛ active wɔ so. Sɛ wohwɛ wɔ Facebook a at least comment na tapo like ne love sign symbols no wɔ YouTube nso a share, keep on sharing na yɛhu sɛ ampa mo dɔ program no sɛnea ɛbɛyɛ a yɛn nso a yɛde ba Debia Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, no. Yeah, bemu embu esan se gidi se adofo dodo na na ehwe yen. Enen so me mo bibia akwa aba ankrankra bia wa ba fidie so nyina me ma mo nyina akwa aba na mesere se mo ba so ambo moden na mo nhye. Enen so yekofare aba ya akwa akofa aba de bia ye ba ya nkoma emu ohwam nkoma etete nkrofo nkoma nkrofo dwene ho edi ho ebubo ne ya pensem mu ne de aba na yenso ya bekire ya adwene wa ha na lawyer nso de nimdeɛ a ɛsombo sei sɛnea ɔmo yɛ no de bia na ɔno nso de abrɛ yɛ na yɛtumi gyina so de yɛtu anamɔn. Enti ɛnɛ adom ne nti no yɛnya yɛnua bɛrima yɛmpɛne yɛn teacher baako pɛ ɛyɛ lawyer Asmah enche bia me introduce no na ɔno nso de nchia kɛseɛ abama obi biara na mmom ansa na ɔbɛba no mesrɛ enimdie bɔmmɔde ana share program yɛba it's like we keep begging people to share the program and yes apatro na na ɛyɛ ndɛ na mmom the importance of this benefit ɛwɔ program yi mu nti na yɛsrɛ sɛ boba share na obi nso enye bi me nua ba teleduma nyame enka wo nyame nhyira wa no pay sɛ wetie na wo keep on sharing na wo frɛfrɛ adom sɛ ɔmo nso mba mbɛhwɛ na nagyema wɔ hɔ a yɛtie wo Margaret do mensa mo nyinaa mo wɔ he mo mbra Michael Bam Fred Amwa mo nyinaa mo mbra na mo betie na mo keep on sharing na sɛ ne ɛbɛyɛ adodoɔ na ebenya fahodie ɛwɔ asɛm a yɛde brɛ mo no enti meto nsa afrɛ me nua bɛma me lawyer baako pɛ Sir Charles na ɔmfa nkyia kɛseɛ embɛma etiefoɔ na afɛdeɛ yɛnhwɛ adwumadie no sɛ ne ɛbɛkɔ na yɛnfa mo nka ho na yɛnyinaa yɛnkɔ lawyer Charles mpatwa mama akɔ aba
Yenya atrapo mo
Adomo nkwa papa me ho ye. We de me mo akwanya na fa nhwe a mu hwam. E ma tiefo ni ahwefo na anope mo ho se ye dom ye enti na ya ba ye de sa program e bro mo pacho wadaroma koso.
Yo, etiefo ne ahwefo ene efie da no pay anso ye din check ase efi BWF Solicitors asoye ebre wo baby bira wo biara sara anso na ne awoti e we fidie so no di adanse se dwumadie no etwa so nanso ye besua ade bebre akoye nim tituru ne a edi nkwalaa a ye pese ye ne won ba abochire enya na mpo mo bedu airport wa na ne akoba ne se o ma cancel o visas na akwaya asem bebre and nso ye bedi hu enkommo enti na ye can say the month of February is the month of love that only comes from the supreme being, genuine love, unconditional love. So in this period of love, we are praying for all those who are destitute. We are praying for all those who are in imminent destitution. We are praying for all those who are in war-torn countries. We are praying for leaders of all countries in the world that they will have love, make the right decisions and policies. We pray for all employees, all employers, that they will have love and make the right decisions for everybody so that together we'll have a better place to live on earth.
Yo, we the work na to have a better place to live on earth. Ye nyina anka you show love anka se ni anoma eko wiase mu sisi anka abrasi bebre na ye de do na ebodomu. Lawyer Charles Medas ye. Yo, se ni etie no ye de dwumede no ahyase ne ye be ne se ye be kansamfo akakra na afei ye be hwe ye update aba system no ye hwe this week anoma bebre abane na nsanko ampo no parliament atena say akekan comadrin de akyere yen ne nyina e ka update no ho a mema lawyer Charles pensen mu kakra e de amaye na afede eduru ho a nyoma eda na akwan mu se wo se ye no se ye behwe this year egusua ebo dero say fiti ena to March ending no insisa bebre na ekoso nsise wo anamuntu bi abomode na tu ne ntem ansa na March no abawiye sanso na ye besre se wenya wodi a se ne asika ye tutututu mu yi de bomodia akonya yem papa penny lawyer Bernard or the insem kakra etututu dwa se applications a ye tutututu mu yi entwen se ye ntumu ansa na mom America kra da wenim se o se odi renew a bomodia na to anamon sisi ase na ebe ya eka na ye de bebre eka ho no enka de bia ya keka kansem yi na yenim se dodo na nso etu anamo enti ye beko yenim ne etie ne se de bia ye tu kwan na ye applications amaye ma ye bedu na ye pese ye man be kan ho a one thing leads to another bo ho na ye see ye twem ya cancel ya ye see ene no na be kan ho asem na ansa na ye be kan no ho asem no mesre lawyer Charles say na otwi mu update e bay on be bo kakra nkyere because ama dodo na yem hihie omo den na yemfa wom den na ye ignore den na yemfa nto anamom na yehu say we are also updating ourselves when it comes to the law pacho wadaroma lawyer Charles.
Yo, nia ewo mu no ene se so nia Andra Uncle Ben a church mu no. We are not going to re-echo everything, but it is important for us to take note of two key points.
Okay.
Point one, and there a 2nd of February 2024. 3 days time will be 5th of February 2024. That will be the end of £1,560 fee we pay for IHS for immigration application, especially 2.5 applications, you know. So we require extension and now say we require application for the first time, no. Until so application, yeah, yes, so normally no people say until say 1 year na media no be wukra metum da chimu ana. It's a common sense approach. 1 year is too long or far. 3 months, cool. 4 months, cool. So if yours is expiring in May, March, April, you can put it in. Then you can beat that 1,000 plus difference na abano. Numa yensheno and so. Now, so we buy application for the first time there. then we'll encourage you to put it in this week before the by 5th of February, so that you can beat that automatic £1,000 plus now because you are not waiting for any extension. You are doing for the first time. Sarah also the Parliament. I can say those skilled worker migrants are UK. No, those under occupation code 6145 general carers and then 6146 now senior carers so we will that there enka or family members and as a dependents there they are covered, because the presumption would have been that once you came in, you would have come with them. And therefore, if they are yet to come, they can join you. That was the initial expectation based on policy. Unfortunately, it appears they've taken a different approach where they are now generalizing it to say by 11th of March, dependent of skilled worker migrants will not be able to join. So what is the solution? Say, dependent omo eba and I say omo beba, please put in the application now. Put in the application now. You are here, yes, but put it in now, because we don't really know what Parliament is seeking to achieve at this stage. Yes, sir. First, we are okay. But you see, I know I'm say it's not even like that. The moment I'm say 11th of March 2024 is the cutoff date for bringing your dependents to join you in the UK if you are on a skilled worker migrant program. Of course, students, dear you say a chum, student a chum. Nembom, so we a student PhD or student research program for 2 years, 3 years. Ubetumi the dependent aba still. And I say, oh yeah, doctorate degree. It was a doctorate, your doctor of philosophy, and you have a PhD, and you have doctor the third program. And it could be any doctoral program, including PhD, plus any research program, MPhil, MRes, and all akeke kahono. You can bring your dependents, because you are going to pursue the course for more than a year, at least 2 years plus. So you are still allowed to bring your dependents. If you are in the UK, no way to CS ewu, and that's the way we will course no we try will certificate, and that's our graduation. The moment we will course admission letter no say up to this point. The point no do nkwa there, just the course has completed. In this case, you can go ahead and apply for graduate scheme application. And now so say we betumi switch it if you are the main student. If you are a student dependent there, you can switch at any time. There's no restriction. So that is the bit for today.
Yo, lawyer Charles, yeah, that's home office for we be say omweni pa. Hey, home office just say ope akwenye bia obeya. Obetwetwa etwa nkrofo anantim na se ne etie bia ne nti na e wo lawyers wo ho no me de me gidi say ne omo ka nyina no still akwenya bi bededa ntokro bi mu a eno de ye ntumi hu tisi etu ho ana mo ansa enti na ye say wo situation ti sen na ti sen na ti sen abomode akọhu lawyers no omo adwuma omo die no ebi wo ho a omo tumi even test the law na omo ahwe na omo de obi hu fato ho nsem bi etwam na omo de abata ho obehu na wo de no so afa na afa wo de no so ye de abe case work na ye de so say enti no don't just sit down and say all is lost, all is gone. No. But modiane to anamo nako BWF Solicitors. Send our situation tie biara. Just pour it out to them. Na me did say omenya solution ken e the amount. Afe no aka ye ho afe no adwene ya. Those BWF Solicitors legal hour with Manyeti. And also eguso aye kase na me did say wenya beto aye ndie bomodia na share program no like the page and subscribe to our YouTube channel no. Send e be ya yibenyini na ya koye nim. And here me pa say ube active wo Facebook ne so nti tap like any share no any you can say love one say me me pay love and at this time so no we are in the month of love and laughter. So if you see me laughing too much, don't be surprised. You say I don't know about you or sre. I'm just expressing my love and through my laughter. Enti sanet here. Yebeko yenim yen kasa bebre. Lawyer Asmah. Your main topic and that's any update. Nanka maybe sa 1 or 2 questions, but I'll rather ask it after yen education for today. No. Netia ne se emre bebre yaba na sesi akra home office from on the 11th of March no all year cancellation of all ma obia and dependent embeka ne ho no omo ayaba dada na ye wo mu no afenso na ebi mu nso ba no yen de yenya visa ne dada 11th of March na enya nto yen nti enya nto yen na chese fitie na up to before the 10th of March midnight and 11th of March midnight na deadline ni beto yen no na chese we are able and I say ye betumi aye eligible na ya invite and ya ma ye dependent about abeka yen ho eno ho na ye wo ene ye ka ho asem na mom dodo na o ma ye obi wo ho a wa ye ni dependent it could be any application but dependent wa ye ama ye de ama no ye de ma no ane a cancel obedu airport a ye see a cancel the dependency no afei ebi krampo a wo kwa akwaje no susu kra ye mfa ma no Lawyer Asmah se eba ni say na mbia ye nya de ama na ya sa se ye see a cancel and no one sem and because just this month about 3 or 4 people are go through this program this problem cancel or mama and your mukrunum and no yerenom as dependent near cancel or visa no said the no yenye lawyers me lawyer anti lawyers mo na mo behu nientia na eba ne sa na afenso no akire ye aden si na na eba ne sa no kwan ben na ubetumi reverse sa cancellation no this is what we are talking about until Lawyer Asmah dependent before we go to the main one dependent no ubetumi akire the categories of dependent yet to me falling into this victim and you falling into this area yet to me cancel your visa and sane ahwe reverse side no pacho.
Right. Thank you. Now, it's here for the Asha4, you can say dependent. We are operating within the nuclear family system
Okay.
for the purposes of immigration applications,
Mhm.
So a dependent is somebody who depends on you for essential needs or for
Okay.
their sustenance. Wukunu woyere womba.
Okay.
Womba could be your biological children, adopted children, or step children.
Okay.
So your children and your spouses are your dependents for the purposes of this conversation. I have a case study that I will chip in because it's a case that I dealt with and we succeeded without even going to jail or court. They pulled out before we went to court, or they pulled out before we decided to proceed. And it's workable. But today we are looking at cancellation of leave or permission to enter. Yama visa no, and we are talking about nkwala. Yama nkwala no visa no, so oba abe join ne mami and this ne papa, especially skilled worker. My focus will be on skilled worker program no. Yama also be join o mami and this o papa. And mind you, this falls within family life. Even though the focus is skilled worker or appendix skilled worker provision. Na yade ade ya ma wo no we bedu airport. Na ya ka cho say yehu say ade na yade ma wo no ye mistake. Nti ya je fi unsem. So we have pre-decision and post-decision activities. Pre-decision is a what application atum akobo nsa no. Now before I make a decision, omo be ye nhwehwem omo anywhere di nkita ho na omo make sure say bibia you okay. Does it mean so omo de man we no, they have powers to look at post-decision activities, including say we be do airport. Crowd you tumi hwehwem who say mistake na and as I don't want ma no a mistake into your jefu same and say you cancel ama. I want you to I want viewers so you better take note of the policy because for the year you must see I'm issue the 23rd of January 2024. So that's about last week. Now it tells them about different categories of cancellations. And see where the mama me mo and go through one or two. So this is published for Home Office staff, 23rd January 2024. Published for Home Office staff, 23rd February 2024. What I will do is say, be I better say, bet you cry, I share, and I will let producer have a look and see if he can assist us with that bit. Na producer, try and one man, Emayano, will just take ourselves through what I'm talking about. And you share Home Office guidance no more about out 23rd January 2024 no or say published for Home Office staff. So this is a case working document. Now, post decision actions. Post decision actions. Say you make a decision here do vesa na mawa then ebetumi esi. Ebi ni cancellation and curtailment So you can see that this is the version 4 or a call form who data it is 23rd of January 2024. Now, call page 3 noir. Call page 3 noir. What say one page 3? Yeah, one jina esro hono. Just go up a little. Inti ya hand jina hono mami. Or say part 9 cancellation grounds. Part 9 cancellation grounds no egunumu ahodo bebre. Say we twa ntro e wo wade animu na omo ehu na afi da we bedu airport na ehu say utwa ntro na ye de ma wo ti eje afi wunsem. Anasa ọman yẹn hwehwẹmu yie na yɛde adeɛ na ama wo na afi na webedu airport na border fo ehu sɛ no so ɔmo yɛ hwehwɛmu yie anka yɛamfa ama wo nti yɛgye efi nsɛm. Part 9 cancellation could be cancellation under paragraph 9.7.2 which is mandatory cancellation ebe trigger ban no for 10 years. And also said discretionary cancellation which will fall under 9.7.1. I don't know there will be no ban, but still no cancel on the words are cancellation and curtailment. Curtailment, ye chum nature say, why there no and yet a juma beam. As a some notice of curtailment or cancellation, nature say I feed their own who need be cry. Now, let's take it say omoye nyawo somebeye bewie, and this goes for both EU and non-EU applications. But then we are focusing on non-EU applications, especially skilled worker children at Bedu Airport. Now omoka say anasa say pachoyenko ifomo hokakra the next page. So if you go down to the various cancellation good. So I say cancellation on exclusion or deportation grounds. Into cancellation on exclusion or deportation grounds no no bi a wo mu dada ya cancel wade no ya cancel wade na na che say as say ya du ko fie bi a wo suban enti cancellation on criminality grounds bi a krono bi enti we are general staff cancellation on non-conducive grounds bi a wa bra bone ni awo mu no ene krom ha emra no enko anase ebura santi ya ma wo ni nemu a obeye ohaw ama adodo no a ewo krom ha no nti ekobasa ye twitwa wade no mu na yakacha se ko krom. Cancellation on breach of immigration laws grounds It's breach of immigration laws grounds, just say be a immigration brand say. Now when they so it to me a cancel what they no impose a chrome ha. The main one no yababa so no a cancellation on false representation grounds. Cancellation patcho ubetumi akofom kakra. Good. Cancellation on false representation grounds. Ehɔ no na yegyina hɔ. Patcho take us to the page. So just click on the page 50 now. A war cancellation on false representation. Go to the right and click on the 50. Until up there. Until I say cancellation on false representation grounds. And so ewo. But you can see this Bebreno. This one is talking about ETA. That's the electronic way now no. It will be do and they are cancelled. You will then go down to the main ones now and your electronic arrangement now model by name so you ama visa na waba we bedu ya the visa na ma na ye we bedu abrochire wonim say wa lande nti we du ano no na ye de wa de no ko share machine no mu ye hwem na say no ye bi say nsam ba ko mienu na wa no akofom anasa wa toto akwapa so na akoba say wa de no when you first why the mouth, no back to the main policy page, When you first why the mouth, to go back to the main content page. When you first mouth, and far a quemu into your council. Other into your educate false representation. Ebia na document na what call no and your papa, but we BT embassy ho and a baby do her. And rather say we bedu airport wa and interest say we the border officer has the power within the rules to investigate and to confirm say your leave was granted genuinely. In this akoba say omumu say leave no man granted genuinely there which make you feel the same and then the cancellation they will look at what you can do. Enti ebi na document na wo de call no birth certificate and I say bank statement and I say COS and I say whatever wo de call no false and that's why mususu say enye papa sa na etie dia omutumi ejina so cancel ade no and so say information a wo de maaye no one kind of credit ni nyina ye refuse to pay na wo si deebi ye refuse to ye na nyame adom se nyame adom o se den o we beat immigration e wo embassy na wa ba bedu airport last stop there went to me beat because ya chill adentina na beat embassy application point na I had there almost deebi because they have the power to check and to confirm before you are allowed. So we call it entry clearance. Entry clearance. So once you get to the airport, as I say, you're clear and some way to me a room. But you see, near woman take a sim for our duty under the relevant provisions. Say, a koba say, or move feel say, which and throw our baby are. And so, or more a ball coco. I have found minded to refuse, Ni nyinaa ankoba na wa bebe du na ya cancel wa de no say ade no enye papa then na wo betumi aye edikan no as I say wo hu say who take action against them so you have to be granted bail especially when you akwala you have family life when you okunu oyere you have family life to nipa na wo ba no ho no tekwabasa you have to be granted Secretary of State bail. Secretary of State bail ne say omo ankasa border for no ebeba o bail say okay kofie na mbom enu ndi wieye. Ekobasa within 7 days they have to do that. 7 days they have to grant you Secretary of State bail. And that's why so ankasa ema o kofie. So 7 days etwem na ya ma wan kofie and say ama o bail there. You have to apply to court to seek court bail. So remember, court, I'm a court, I grant you bail. na wenya ofa hodie akofie. So these are two bail approaches. Now yama o bail na interest no ano no yebema o cancellation notice, because yama o cancellation notice there, then technically what there no eye adwuma. They say ma o cancellation notice setting out the reasons for cancellation. Ebi a omeka wo mi say ye interview who can say ya de tutu application a wo ye no ho no na egbo ebura santi yesusu say botaye a wo de ba agbo ekire ene bo nya wo kan say wo de ba no different santi yentumi emma nwure mu anasa wo kan say wo ba wo maame anasa wo papa ho ebedu ye no na yehu ne say ente saa anasa document na wo gina so ye ade no yehu say ente saa. All those things, they have to put them together in the cancellation notice. Mama will be a section 120 or 120. Section 120 notice, and that's a form, no, ya the mawa. Culture says, so will be big can pempering, engine so, and ye, so you make the application or you send your section 120 representation, and I say argument to them. Ye ma cancellation no a wo ma yen hya no so ebetumi aba se eda no a ye kye wo no a ye detain wo no a ye interview no za da no a yetumi cancel anase within 7 days na ye ba ma wo secretary of state bail no yetumi cancel empo ebetumi aba se ye cancel after some time because omo ye nhwehwem enti ebetumi atake some time, but the moment I will cancel no, that is the end of your leave, and that is when you have to start acting. And today, in a way to me,
Okay.
yabam yo.
Yo, lawyer Asmah, senior watch mu wɔ hɔ no, yenye hu na sisi a yehu nneɛma a ebegyina so a ɛbɛba sɛ wade yi ɛbɛyɛ bɛ cancel. Etiefoɔ sɛ afei na mo adwene a yɛwɔ legal hours so a yɛkyerɛkyerɛ nneɛma BWF Solicitors ɔmo panin baako na yɛne ne di nkɔmmɔ wɔ ha no. Mesrɛ mo monkɔ so na monhyɛ program sisi yɛba abɛka sɛ yɛ cancel all the circumstances are ebe leading to this cancellation no afei den na wo a ya cancel wo visa na wo ye dependent no den na wo beye and afei nso no wo a nipa kwa oba be depending on you wo so wo chafa ben na o say wo ye what will be your role in reversing this cancellation and no na ye ba be hwe nti mesere say you do the very most important area ebeboa ye nyina na ehu ne ebeye nyoma ekokọ ba ye say ugina false documentation so when one can okra one utran we say na ne nyina has led to the cancellation no sisi ano wugina bia ne sen oho ne yedu nti mesere monko so anhye mo amaba so nyina nya me nhira mo Margaret do good morning evangelist Gina Ansa Ado good morning Sandra Fraser papa bi osi good morning or the contacts nyina ubetumi reach it to BWF Solicitors no or the aba be guso na BWF Solicitors omo wa ha esan wo Ghana nti se wutie from Ghana na opese BWF Solicitors omo hwe wo nneoma ede ma wo wo mra se wo beba UK and any country for that matter open visa kwan obefa so de aye law family law opese wo hwe wo se opese wo todan wo ye nkromu Ghana ho legal document or say wo hihye or say wo hu and even the investigation to the land or property or building opese wo hwe kra no ne nyina BWF Solicitors omo akwanya wo ho omutumi eye saa nyoma ne de ma enti entnase na kwakloya bi ana obi keke hunu bi endi usika na onye hwe emma enra me wanwan posa abrochempo ebi wo ho if so utatie news enra say lawyer bi a owie law school all right so one graduate it say oye say ya mano law commission for amano certificate say on operate no agije nkrofo agije obro ni pete pa o waje nkrofo sika saa na omodwuma no so onye mo na ne sika na afa ya yehu ne to a yeyi na ama. It was on BBC News so betumi akwa nti say your lawyers small lawyers na mekan for BWF Solicitors ama o say but modern for wasem ekono modie uni baby omo anko ye kro to me come ho o me ya ama nti last man afa de ye nhwe nyoma wa cheche nyinaa Obeye den na wa reverse. Mpacho afe na mpesa itiefo sorry na omo follow yen ye e wa ha na hia me pa. Mpacho cheche itio. Question bi wo ha maybe sir whilst you talking.
Yo, engineer, a woman in say,
Mhm.
waba, ana yejina bibi so.
Mhm.
Nia omujina so no, ho anamon na wobetu.
Sir.
So there's a case I did. Nimpa no ebedu ye no, oyakwala, one ne papa, ne mame, na papa baye, ana oba joini papa ne omame.
Mhm.
Obedu airport no, na wo so omususu se enye omame no.
Mhm.
Nti omo fra omame omo ye interview. Akwala no so omo ye interview. Akwala no ondi 18. Injina so ne se omususu se birth certificate no fake.
Mhm.
Santi entumi mba se omame no. Santi wamfa kwan paso enya visa se oba as a child of a skilled worker migrant.
Mhm.
Nti amoma no akwenya omo cancel na de no na amoma no secretary of state bail so onko fie.
Mhm.
Omo detain on for some hours, about 12 or so hours. And now omo gine document ni na, but mind you, there are certain documents they can take and certain documents they cannot take. Document omo take here document are link it to identity because they have to know who you are. Nti say o passport ometumi take o visa say BRP a ometumi hold it, and anything I will feel say relevant, but not everything. But a year document who has some na year can. The sunny way now quite to say almost say no correct. The birth certificate na akwaya asem na mo de betu menim. Nti na say administrative review within 14 days. Na year section 120 representation. Administrative review we be no online. I just say we normal application. But in your application, here, but why you are doing it and why you are challenging them that they have made a wrong decision. Administrative review within the policy guidance will tell you, say, if the decision is in error, then the decision maker should be asked to remedy the error. Point out to them where they got it wrong. If you are not really feel say, one policy no, so you point it out to them and you remind them and you assist them to do the right thing for you. Assistance ben na the bama won. Almost see why you say. We say when yes, sir. So you give them why you think I win here with your evidence. You don't tell them and leave the evidence out. Because evidence is the game. Then the next thing I hear and say document no as I said within 10 days, you know. As I said, omukwaji letter efi aban mu ewo Ghana eba to confirm say birth certificate you know genuine because omu issue no a year before akwala no etu kwan meanwhile akwala no so wenyini ewo about 14-15 years and no omu susu say akwala wenyini saa da na fi ama no birth certificate, but that is not their business because if it is within the policies and rules of that country in India, so be it. But the country should be able to verify, say, and correct, say, birth certificate, you know, or man confirm fee quine chain. Enti na acquire the point, say, as I say, parent, you know, equity letter, edeba verification letter, authenticating that that birth certificate is genuine, issued by the birth and death registry of the country concerned, and that it is verifiable and it's available on record. omo try within the time. No omo sanka. So what I did is I have to act within that 10 days. So I put in my legal argument and told them, said, this is the case, and we are dealing with a child, and this is the policy for children. Making reference to case law, making reference to statute, and making reference to the policy guidance. But they didn't call within 2 days. You know, much me say they have picked the argument, they have checked it, and they feel that if I go to court, they will lose. So they have raised their hands until document will come later. Now me see you, Mate. That is one case study. So that is how we fight the case. It is not a story say, it is not fact. It is pure law. So if you are not confident about applying the pure law, you have to look for people who are confident and can apply the pure law on your behalf.
Okay.
The next thing is say, where we do a year interview, and a year who say, yes, you say, now what can no insist so? If you say, Bia, Oba, we yere eho. At the same time, no, we yere that no, I want to know what unkwala no so. Woni no di nkita ho e ma wo bibi a kire se woni no di communication. Question is say oba oyire na ojina no so your application ho anasa oyire dada no a woni ne wo emba no ho. So it's a dichotomy. Then they conclude and say we don't think say oyire foforo na wo ba no ho no oneno aware no aware pa. So you can see that this takes us to the realm of sham or marriage of convenience. So we have things that borders on birth certificate, things that borders on marriage of convenience. But because we are talking about child, I'm not going to go into the marriage of convenience per se because that has nothing to do with child dependent application.
Okay.
But suffice to say, and the marriage of convenience, a bar, the argument will also be different. Because argument, however, fighting akwalane diano will be different from argument, however, fighting marriage of convenience.
Okay.
Another one, waba say obeye program. Program no, ubedu ya no program na chum. Still a waba. Do they have the right to tell you, no, you can't enter? Yes. Because program now, what they buy, you know, it's a year and now we do ende. It appears that now your reason for coming is different. It's a common sense approach. And no, because a visit approach, and it's a visit application, and it's an entry into a better than say, we imagine a human right so a fight to a case. That it's woman and so. Obisua oba abajone ne maame se oya akwala se na ye ka nkwala asam no. Ba bia na maame no kra no omeduye akwala no asan ne ho aba. Na se o maame meduye na asan ne ho aba dia ende o ba ba edan. Woman yeshe enso. But se koba nkwala application we rely on the best interest of the child. Wo and I susu say winjindi, but it doesn't mean say in some no akwala no kan one application mu no anya no kre. Wo and I say birth certificate no winjindi say your papa, but it doesn't mean say birth certificate no anya papa. So the question I put to them was this: you have the power and the evidential flexibility rules to test the evidence at the outset. Tama nipa do din application by no. Decision you had the power to call for interview. You had the power to do your checks. You had the power to do everything. you had the power to give the person minded to refuse notice so that they can clarify matters for you. When you know why here, you better baby do heavy. If you say, so what are you trying to tell us? The can in our boom no, and the coy no, or mama so break. And there I mean, you can say, Aqualano, the sack and the document in na, homogene na, on it, ne mammy, and that's it. But as part of the investigation, social way for echo fear echo check is say and no correct say akwala no te ho a and no correct say parent no a and no correct say na ekoso no sa until then ha no ye besua efim. It tells us say the agencies collaborate, and some collaboration no is to gather information. Say HMRC, say social service, say home office, say police. They are national agencies, so they collaborate. So in this case, border force for any social welfare for or service for, they were collaborating. That particular council, no, ebemu. So I was dealing with them, and the conclusion was that they couldn't find anything. So I even told the case workers, as part of my argument, say these people have done what they have to do. There's nothing there. Your argument in say birth certificate no correct, but your argument in say birth certificate papa. Who feel say unjindia kobisa aban no a or issue birth certificate Yes, it is your case to prove, and therefore the burden is on you to provide that evidence. But at the same time, the person who alleges must also prove a case, and so they also have a duty to show say we did this and we found this out. So we put all this together and challenge them on a point of law. Not a marching break.
Sir. Last man, and no much break. As of now, okay, mystery because it's their duty to prove send your whole canning no crack. And I didn't so call baby, I make a best set no Ubeko and the house and genuine birth certificate number yeah. And our face when it comes to the social services going to investigate the house that the child was living now. I'm pana crown and mammy and papa tin and mammy aban and papa dika ban as omo ono nso eba abeka ne ho enti no of course enti na ye ka se wasem na etesen a fako ho because lawyers no more they know how to deal with the law so wade no enti omo akira mpa na lawyers Asmah ye very successful application ama ene akla no ye nsaka na ne me obi ka say social service wo ye nkromo omo bisa say are they really effective. Mr. Mo, yen krom ne wa bebre ye adwuma. Eya yen change your mindset kakra. Ne ma bebre ye adwuma pepepe ba because say ye woda negative mindset say bibia anye adwuma bibia anye adwuma bi nti ma ye hu the right source ye be approach ye wo child protection wo yen krom Ghana. Ye wo all these agencies wo honoma. They cater for children. Enti no men tena se na uma asem no enjija ansa na watu anamo unyanya that decision na bomode akohu lawyers they will do it successfully at the amount enti lawyers ma ye beda ase ye koso de minim se wonwie ye de enti koso se ase ko ba ne se okunu no nso a sham marriages na no ye nkan no ene ye nhwe children side of say question bi ba na ye bia no be reflecting that area there ene me gidi say obetumi ama ye moaye kakra but ye gu so a ye tie unti pacho koso ne ye hwe say uwie a ye question say wono ne mfa tutu dwa ema pacho
Yo, me da se bebre. Ebi so a na akwala no bedu ye no, ye hwe n'anim. Na ye hwe ne age no a ebo ebura. Ebura means opposite.
that's it.
So this is personal opinion because we all have different makeup.
Yes.
Our body makeups are different. Obi ye penny, oluko akwala. Obi ye akwala, oluko penny. So you cannot use your prejudice to conclude that I am old or young. How do you prove my age? Birth certificate, passport.
Okay.
Unless, of course, you are telling me, say, you have evidence to suggest, say, my birth certificate, date na e was so no wouldn't that no is different from new one no amada brewo no. Then I should be able to explain why the contradiction. Say a mistake na akoba and as a den na akoba. Nti bia na ya hwa akwala na enim na ya say oh akwala even though ya akwala there but you see say on your akwala sa. Nti e gina so a cancel na say refuse so na interview no.
Okay.
Na ye ko interview no na wa kototo apapa so. And then they conclude say oh ye bisa enum asem no or can say. And therefore the conclusion is say enti sa. And I
Now,
say bisa
where the Mr. Mincha no me obeto aso say no akwala no at what age na any say ye interview akwala na say from 0 up to 18 no ye wo ho kwan say ye to me interview akwala because sometimes so say akwala no sometimes they even panic and I say they get confused because when you start bombarding them na oh papa ni are you sure so papa confused say what are they trying to say but at what age na e was say ye interview akwara na say any say ye interview akwara na afi no ato aso ama empacho
case bi wo ho
mhm
I used to when it comes to children's proceedings
okay
within the 1989 Children Act.
mhm
Your friend the case of Gillick.
okay
Nti your friend be Gillick competence.
mhm
Gillick competence ni say akwala otumi express ne ho. Otumi hu nia oka otinia oka nase.
okay
Yen kan share nano.
okay
Age of 13, 14, 15, you are Gillick competent.
right okay
So akwala ni 13 na yebetumi atoto nano. Akwala only 13 aya na yedin say obetumi atoto nano because ebia ebekwa akoye leading questions
yes
instead of questions wope answers efi inipa akwala no eho. So it's a careful approach. It's a
okay
very subtle point. When
right
do we interview the child? But if the child is within the Gillick competence, the child can be interviewed.
okay yeah me da sempacho afi obetimi ato ababy a me twa wa no sorry
Nti say na me kan say wa hwe menyim na wo say menyini sin me age na me say me di no. And on that basis no we hear me interview. Why hear me interview? Now for whatever reason no manu akofumfum. Question is say what triggered that anofum no? Is it because say mente brofo enti ubisa me brofo a wo de brofo kasa na ibisa mo asama manti ase enti ubisa me water and I meti ase say food enti the answer to that question no, was based on my understanding of food. That means I'm not giving you answer based on the question I would demand no. It's
yes
how I understood the question because of brofo na mente no. Was I giving interpreter? If yes or no, it's a matter for consideration. What is the circumstance of the interview? How long did it take? The atmosphere, the tension, somebody who has just arrived, traveling 6 hours, even require transit, 9 hours, 12 hours. What baby do? All of a sudden, what they saw, assembly shiano, now na kwashe cage mu, now we an interview. Hobbies, the adrenaline will trigger confusion. Ewo nipa na adwen mu. Te be possible say na no be fumfum. But no interest say nia ogina so odi baaya no enye no kure. Nti lawyer be mu a we take all this into consideration. We also request for what we call contemporaneous evidence or record. Contemporaneous record, original record no we take here no time or mututu akwala na no. They have to write a note. And where possible, they have to put it together on audio record. What they don't do is to record. So all they do is to type it or write it out, handwritten, question and answer. So it might be said, "No, kind no, and no nipa no try no, different. Say different there. How do you say, "Nya wo kan no correct"? Na nya me kan no wrong. So we want to have the recorded version. If you don't have the recorded version, we are relying on the contemporaneous written evidence or the note. If the contemporaneous written evidence or note is rebuttable, then the applicant will rebut it. And if it is rebutted, then so be it. But by the law, we should be able to win the case for that child.
Okay, let us say, senior watch mono, Sarah, na me who say questions be poppy up, but ye bet maybe sa enche bia. Lawyers must say, watch it, senior, nyoma, to me lead it to say ye bet cancel, and I think so no, say ye cancel nea or say we na ubetumi a reverse sa cancellation ni nyina no wankasa independent person no untumi enye because wono unhu law no kwan a obefa so a wodbetumi ekwatia sa cancellation no nti no tise wode ama lawyer na ono a obetumi agina mrane so na ode etumi atwitwa ede agyew no nti mesre na bomode akohu lawyers sia no yeah, my bedu airport ya cancel me way watch nyoma nkete a obetumi e dia ejina so na waye se eba ne se embia ye cancel wo na omoso omomfa ma ono wa wo unsa nka lawyer ana se eba ne sa ye ma wakwanya se obetumi afre lawyer bi ana nti se embia wanya sa akonya na yesi ene ye ne wo san akwa ubeden akwa akokun sa ntokwa ifrifie e de aba ana se eba ne se ohona ebia na yakwa detain wa ye ma wakwenya se ubetumi afra na se wanka so ubetumi a request se no me frɛ me lawyer say ni say na onhwɛ asɛm ne ma me mpacho saa de no nkrofo bebre nim se owo ho kwan so ya na so ni ho kwan ubetumi a kyerɛ ye bibi kakra e wo honom ama ya na.
Everybody has the right to legal representation.
Good.
So it's a matter of choice.
Okay.
Advice me the mama and it's say yes me the mao well there's a son a lawyer can the advice here advice me the mama ho I be a wo fire be boa wo no say so me na me be do airport na bibi ekwesi a right away I will consult a lawyer.
Good.
Once you call the lawyer will get will contact the border force. Either say Heathrow, Gatwick, Stansted, Birmingham, wherever, we get in touch with them and tell them that we have our client mandate, but we need a mandate from the client.
Right.
Already, so there was one case near a weekend.
Okay.
So they got in touch with me weekend, Saturday. The Saturday now I was dealing with them. Email.
Okay.
So they says, okay, because it's a weekend, they cannot really do much. So as I said, then they have to grant my client bail. Unfortunately, I'm in Sanka where yet a friend say will be a letter of authority.
Oh, okay.
What power does the legal rep have, or what to be able to act on your behalf? When there's a woman of power, no, and I said to me, no,
right.
You need the letter of authority. Until I had to then go to the office a Saturday, prepare the letter of authority, send it to the border officer. They gave it to the client for client to sign. Then I had the client authority. Then everything I had then sent to them, they were able to engage.
Right.
And that was so Monday, Tuesday, they released the client and not buy out. They granted Secretary of State bail and not buy it. So that I had to then deal with them. After that, we had to go through admin review. The difference between admin review and judicial review is this.
Okay.
Admin review, they say, now why you know, and fa a kwemu.
Okay.
What is a crime? A crime is the policy, procedure, the law. Then that's why you know fa kwemu. We say there is procedural impropriety. If there's procedural impropriety, you have to remedy it by correcting yourself.
Okay.
So I will give you back to you and tell you, say, but what can I say? What you say? So please fix it.
Correct
That is
yourself. Okay.
admin review. So why na obeje na correct wade? Whether say nipa no na obe review and say nipa foforo na be review. Either way, the same organization no a why mistake no ono no be review.
Okay.
Say organization na your home office no omo review no omo can say decision is maintained and we are correct, and so whatever we said stands there. Then a public officer has made a mistake.
Okay.
So if a public officer makes a mistake and you still think, say, they have not followed the law, you have to take it to court for court to
Okay.
remedy that. And that is called judicial review.
Okay.
That's the
Okay.
difference. Admin review, nipa no a uni nenya no ono na oba correct.
Okay.
Na nipa no a uni nenya na osi debi no, on what basis no oba say afi dem ati ase, unless you have a very strong evidence and legal argument
That's correct.
to put them on the spot.
Mm.
Then what happens? Someone says they could pay court, they have no leg to stand on, so they will pull out because they know it will go.
So is it you who request for judicial review and I say public officer now involved? No, because say no. Say if they are not taking the judicial review, and found why they request this judicial review.
So admin review every year. Judicial review. Okay, so who will admin review now? They will have to make a decision. Say we have maintained the cancellation or refusal.
Okay.
Then you tell them, say, what you have done is inconsistent with the existing provisions of the law or your own policy. And because of this, I'm putting you on notice that I'm moving further. Moving further to where? To court. We call that pre-action protocol.
Okay.
Letter before action.
Okay.
Into what they call ABR, they will reconsider. But yeah, no more so they will still say no. From there, you have 90 days. From time now, Mama, admin review decision, 90 days to go to court for judicial review. You have to make the application. Lawyer no, I represent the client. You have to make the application to court for the judicial review at the end. So you go to court, upper tribunal. They will see send ya wode ba no engina so wo bibia wo why your bundle come. What come on ba check say wo dey ba within time no a on be sili wi a na wo dey akoma opponent na ye efekasi mfo no say some ka some dey woko ntimi dey wako confirmation ni
No.
Then ya kwehia wo ho judge no betena so na we make the decision without you coming to court, say oral hearing. Okay. Say they agree with Fekesim for, and I said they disagree. Someone disagree there, then you have won. Someone agree there, case continues. Then you can ask for it to be orally heard. Then you go to the next level, another application for oral hearing. It is cost, it is money, it is draining. Yes. But is it worth fighting? Yes. It's about also incriminating sometimes. And the question is, say Kobasa Ebeko oral hearing now, you have the tenacity to speak.
Yes.
To support your own cause. Lawyer the papers argument, barrister ever argue law now one can sound swear.
Yes.
So why when you send the woman, of course, we be too hopeful. But since it's there, of course, we be winning. A word to the wise when you get to that point is always enough.
Sa. Lawyer Asmah, what teaching we? Yeah, wait a minute, our teacher, our classman can be papa. What teaching mama na atwa asomu ye. Na nyoke kane nyina no menu adofo a utie me. Wakaso ahoden entumi nyo ti se lawyer eka ho. Da eka ho na obecheche na fe won so wakokon but answer na ebedu no me gidi say omo ankasa ombeje mu because omo no omo ni evidence no wo na o say wo the evidence no e de kochro mo Asmah yɛbɛda ase yie. Nkɔmmɔ no yɛ dɛ nanso no sɛ yɛma akwanya na etiefoɔ nso ɛmfa ɔmo deɛ ɛmbra. Mehu sɛ question bi apɔpopɔpo baako bi a obisa because ɔse please based on the topic a yɛka ɛnɛ no ɔse when bringing a child legally who has entry clearance should maybe menhwɛ ɛno no mehwɛ wɔ Facebook nti no menka ɔse based on the topics today no when bringing a child legally who has entry clearance, should the following document be carried in hand to avoid cancellation due to relationship? Okay. Internet just or say, or say child birth certificate, DNA if you have it, progressive photos, child's head records, child custody order if you have any, consent letter from other parents where applicable. Net just say sɛ wo wayɛ yɛn nua bɛrima Nana Etua nyame nhyira ɔsi sɛ wayɛ application bi say a woba as dependent no anaasɛ based on what we are discussing na ɔsɛ wo a woba as kwalaa no nneɛma a ɔde abobɔ ɔbɔ so wokitakita ne nyinaa na ɔde ka ho na ɔmfa mbra in case na obi ba bɛka sɛ daabi ɔba bɛkansa na yɛ sɛ ɔhɔ na mpetempetem hɔ na wɔayi akyerɛ no hɛ nipa na wo se enye me maame no hwɛ me ne ne DNA nyina 99.999%. Nipa na wo ka se wunji me birth cert ne ndi no enti mbia DNA be kire ana se other document ne be kire Asmah e wo se wo ye sa se wo twu kwan ya
Yo na ewo mini say yenua enim say document a wabobɔ so nyina no ɔde akɔdada yensa
sa
document a wabobɔ so nyina no ɔde akɔ embassy hɔ ɔde akɔ tama ɔkɔbɔ ne nsa no either say ɔno ankasa no upload ye ana say ɔmo no ɔde kɔɛ na ɔmo scan ye ɛkɔdada so they have it.
Yes.
Please let's take note here. Ibi a wo de call Accra and as a country bi a wo your application bi a ɔmo scan ye bia no ɛda ɔmo anim ɛwɔ Heathrow airport and as a Gatwick airport ubedu a Inti man say they call until they don't have it. They have it. That's what they can tell you. Say you said this, and you are now saying this. They have the application form. They have all your documents, so you don't have to carry them. Because the fact that you are carrying them doesn't make it say your mommy and I say your papa. That's not the argument.
Okay.
The argument is say they don't believe say a genuine. So you don't have to carry those things. All you have is your passport. That's all you have to carry. Other documents, fine. When push comes to shove, other documents you can always, if they want, they have it already anyway. What they may ask of you is other corroborative evidence to suggest, say oh my parent, do you have any historical or progressive family photos? You don't have to carry them, but when they need it and you have it, you can produce it to them at any time.
And no, I don't know. You can produce to them at any time. And yeah, no correct. Do what and share them here. I don't know. I know now the choir application, so they have it already, like you said. No, yeah, need to be you feel some more border force. No, money near quarters of or kwa checking 10 and pim one hours if she never made the choir. No, so cross check. But I don't know lawyer. I catch and I no money. But could so say the
Now, wait a minute, let me check in. For
okay.
that very questionnaire by
Okay.
So somebody will say somebody, if I carry them, it will be good for my case. It will rather undermine your case because be a what you before Fraba.
Okay.
So don't carry those things. Don't carry them. So we here or maybe so. Now what more later. But so Okoba. Now at that point you are under pressure. Maybe say some questions for one. And then you'll be in our course and that's one of our course problem.
Okay.
So don't carry anything that you don't have to carry. Yama officer, about passport to ukuta passport. We be do airport, ukuta boarding pass. Ya be so if you in eba. That's the question. Any questions I ever be sound should be something you should know already.
Already.
You know, if you know phone so now we could be phone now we check it. That's why we has it. That is creative a accountant can say a creative accounting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I feel like you are making it up. It has to
Mm.
be natural.
And only
Where
added.
is your mom? My mom is at this address. Is your
Mm-hmm.
mom coming to pick you up?
Mm-hmm.
Yes or no? She's going to work. But she says that my brother or my uncle will come or a friend will come. Where is the
Mm-hmm.
friend? The friend is
Mm-hmm.
at arrival. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
all right. Do you have the telephone number? I don't have the telephone number. It was
Mm-hmm.
on my phone. My phone battery is dead, so I don't remember. Whatever,
That's
whatever you say, it is the question they ask you and your answer to them. And if they
mm,
haven't asked you a question, don't rush to tell them anything. And if they haven't asked you anything
don't
specific,
say
don't give
anything.
them something specific. And go straight to the point. See, we have open-ended questions and
Uh-huh.
close-ended questions. If they ask you close question, give close answer. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
no. If they ask you open, where did you come from? Then you tell them where you come from. I took off from Accra
Mm-hmm.
through Dubai on this aircraft and I
Mm-hmm.
arrived here. Yeah, I feel like watching ticket in crown yenya. We know konya bi and now we say a check and information or make so any some more questions.
Last of Matthias, yeah, yes, yeah, penchirimu. Nanchirimu ni bi wɔ hɔ a na obeto nsɔhwɛ mu. Enti ɛyɛ na yɛ nkurɔfoɔ ne ba na yɛ tete ɔmo senior ɔmo comport ɔmo ho de bizebize ɔmo nsɛm a some of these things ebi no nkɔkyerɛ nneɛma bi mu a yɛmbisa awo. Ti yɛmbisa awo a ɛnkɔka ɛyɛ a na ebi mu yɛ tu no na ɛyɛ ɔmo sɛ deɛn na edi ɔmo akyi a sɛ ɔmo yɛ teachers o yɛnim yɛbisa wo question a wobɛka yes ne no a na afei na ɔka ɔbɛkye daabi ɛna lawyer aka no ka sɛnea ɛteɛ yo nana ɛsaa de another one say Department of Social Welfare Services in Ghana works effectively as in the UK in terms except financial support for families and I like this madam asisi a mebie telephone lines no e dey atomo akwenya ubetumi bisa me nuamba Abigail Semensa, thank you so much. The question be a bit too board no so na menka ne say good morning, thank you very much for the work you are doing. Please, if I want to bring my 4 kids and husband, do I need to rent the house before I apply and add proof? Because I'm staying in a staff bungalow now, but intend to move out once their visa is in. Lawyer Asmah, we know you can't
Okay.
was na me did say
So the question takes us to the 1985 Housing Act, Part X, and that's a 10 no. Na ɔse beebi a ɔte no ɔno nko ara na ɛsɛ sɛ ɔtena hɔ but ɔpɛ sɛ ɔkɔfa ebusua no ɛba nti ɔnyɛ den ɔnkɔ rɛnte anaasɛ ɔntwɛn ɔmo ba a that's the gist of the question. Right, you have two options. You can go and rent and wait for them to come in, but you'll be paying the rent
yes,
whether they come or they don't, because you'll be bound by the terms and conditions of the tenancy.
it's true.
So what can I do? You discuss with the landlord that I intend to bring my family and we need X number of, and so 4 children, I don't know the ages. Only nukunu 1 room. In Kwalano, I don't know the ages, but we know say up to 13 years no, they can share a room if they are the same sex. Opposite sex, they can't. So I don't know. So if you only here 3 bedroom and I say 2 bedroom and I say 4, whatever. You tell the landlord that I need this, but the purpose is for that, and therefore I want to go into agreement in principle. Agreement in principle, so that I will meet a condition subsequent. Condition subsequent. Condition subsequent is the condition that will be met later.
Okay.
What it means is that I will confirm the agreement. So I'm not bound by the agreement in principle. That is a safer way to avoid financial loss, just in case it doesn't go the way you want.
Wanted. Okay, yo, Asmah. Yeah, that's it. The numbers to call in and ask your question is 02 my producer the Tusma 0208 123 1016 and 073 9920 8468. Ubet means so the WhatsApp message at the aba. Na ubet my voice note TTT na me to me abo ama lawyer na iti na ya mau answer. Obi the question aba e wo WhatsApp ne so. Mo de ba we ni so a e be me de numbers na wo na say Facebook e be me de pa. O say, good morning man lawyer. One, please, I'm a dependent and switching to care visa. Please, what are the main requirements that's document inside UK? And then two, my partner on student visa will be switching to me as a dependent. What document does he need to switch to me as a dependent inside UK? Adeɛ wei ya ka ho asɛm but lawyer yɛmbɔ ne tiatia ɛmfa me ama me nua a webisa question na
I think
ɔtie.
the question is a little ambiguous. I want
Yes.
to know nipa na also person switching on one so your day one can
Na senior ɔka ne sto na ɔno yɛ dependent of a student. Ne
right.
kunu no yɛ student na sɛ sɛ ɔno switch to skill worker care to
Right.
obisa. Yes.
Okay. So the policy allows for on one or your student dependent to
Mm-hmm.
switch to care skilled worker migrant.
So,
So we now come to what do I need if I'm applying in the UK to switch from one category of visa to skilled worker? You need to
yeah.
show that you have employment. You have to show that the employer has given you sponsorship, and so you have your COS. You
Yes.
have to show that you meet the maintenance if the employer has not agreed to sponsor the maintenance. Which is US no so maybe I'll say maintenance. Yes, no. Employer can know you have to show your own maintenance. Or can yes, there you are okay. So can know there you have to show the maintenance 28 days clause and also bank statement and stuff. You have to show that a human will require child protection and safeguarding um, matters. So you have to go through clearance. We by maybe I will police clearance, but say what we do, they say we have DBS.
So,
Then English language at the appropriate level. So you could a
yes.
degree or had there, you are okay. So you could a degree or amanonia, so we have actors comparability. Yes, idea. As I said, your friend is saying
B1.
normal celt B1 and then you can count now
Yo.
application actually.
So tie sɛ wopɛ English na bɔ mmɔden abɛhu me mɛtumi ama wo nteteɛ no akɔ akɔtwerɛ but wo partner ne deɛ a ɔyɛ student no wei deɛ mema lawyer Asmah nkasa koraa mmerɛ no sɛ ɔnwie school ne deɛ a I'm afraid ɔno deɛ ɔntumi nswitchi wɔ kwan bia so the best way a ɔbɛtumi aswitch ne sɛ either sɛ ɔbɛkɔ fie na wɔaplan it ne mu anim yɛyɛ ade ama no ansa na 11th of March no aso lawyer Asmah mpatwɔ metwa anaasɛ mentwaeɛ.
I will give my answer with caution.
Okay.
Yeah. So I will say
Yes
these are some of the questions are yes or no.
Yes.
We just give you a point.
Okay.
Now the reason is so okofia you know how long wa commit any offense.
Okay.
Until the first all corner with no. Any issue with immigration offenses and I say any other offense, that will trigger suitability point. And suitability is part of the requirement. Yeah, so what we're saying is you are right, provided the person has weighed him or herself, understood his or her own circumstance. Now we make a decision, say, the fear ebe boame, and I say, metinemu me ya ebe boame.
Okay, last my dasi. Odo for wa ma so pacho kasa from yente onka.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mikasa free and Heathrow around Heathrow.
Okay, it's you.
Lawyer ne ye tamasene tuma pamo ye edeboa to educators debia.
You're welcome.
Pacho lawyer my question is me application ma me ba.
Right.
Now initially no more refuse application no. Now more refuse no me appeal. And appeal no Marini case like almost Marini case, but it's been over 3 months now, over 3 months now. But still no almost yeah the almost free and my own fan passport on coin visa no. And I'm still waiting. In,
Why worried,
in this
Kakra?
case, then I my worried.
Yo, last one for chatting in Candia.
But in Kapa 3 months, they would in chair cry, will be there 2 years, will be there 1 year. And the 3 months, they would the queue. Why? These days, Nkrofati appeal us here until we are win a lot of appeals. You can imagine, say 1 million appeals in a more decide this or mobile friend conference or for my passport. Who dear na 3 months no? Is it number 1 or number 1 the 1 million?
In do baby.
So but if you say you don't have the patience to keep waiting, email them to follow up. Why? Say there no decision no aba. Decision by no more challenge 28 days no etwom nti ekwasan na tie ne ombeka.
Yo, many abema. Yes, I want to me who lawyers no momboa. Why?
Okay,
Yeah,
yes,
that's
that's
it. Yo,
But now, please let me point this out.
okay.
Sometimes we have to be objective and clever with the public.
Okay.
For example, any question here by a very good question. The answer we give to our brother will suggest that we have the power to change things.
Right.
But it is not in our hands to tell the Home Office, say, we're friend pay and then what we do is say, we keep telling them, Adenache. But Meiji, ena me chinchen so one or one holding. Enti to say yes, obetuma buy your ho. But yen to make us say why buy lawyer and change next week no na sabeka because we buy lawyer ho. We are not the Home Office, but we work with them. And what we now know is say a lot of cases are a court sir. Enti Mr. say yebenya abotre na ya cha ase say once we win in the a cha cry let's manage the expectation. Okay, let's manage this. That's all I will say. Let's manage the expectation, but we'll continue to push them to do what they have to do. But a check.
Yo, lawyer, yatia said, and I told be a brofono to inquire from the Home Office. No, you said, do draw na no more who the technical words, especially where you pre-action protocol requirement, and I say brofona. Also, na Home Office into language, and I say, no, do draw na I keep referring you. Only more, Kohulo, Mono, or no, try, dear na. Now Home Office Nick count him say, hey, I'm dealing with somebody who understands and knows the law. But mbia wo kotro no akotro nti se wo tro girlfriend bi letter one sha ye mfiu eno ne me de no do for wa ma so my you why.
Good morning, Manyeti.
Good morning.
Lawyer Asmah. You know, my name is Juma Pamoya.
Yeah, that's it.
But your question where for Madam could be EU citizen, but when you're indefinite recently, like less than a month ago.
Okay.
And then she's pregnant. We're going to banner somewhere next month. But a person registered the banner, a person or British passport, and man the banner. But someone told us that. Also, spend a whole year after the indefinite, and summer when you have British passport and man the banner. So we wanted to find out if that is the case. And I said, as soon as I work, I'm a bit my British passport and man. That's it.
You. Last.
Yeah,
na.
Pastor me waha.
When I would about Facebook no question.
Right. Yes.
But now about Facebook no can say pre-settled. And yes, sir. A pre-settled and as a settled in any pan war. Article. Right. I'm saying Yeniano na homa no ate.
Na homa na ate ko intino.
Let me answer.
Na obetumi asa afre bioma ye betumi ama omoaye na em say na yeah hello so
Hello, hello.
aha na lawyer na bisa wasem intino what in the question no
But that's what I say. Our indefinite.
or no or indefinite.
No indefinite. So our indefinite.
Okay, lawyer, how to me answer no
Yo, all right. The thing I'm saying say now what pre-settled. Pre-settled is different from settled. Into na maybe say is it the
okay.
same person? But say what confirm say settled there. And Brandon say yawo akwala ewe UK. Na time yawo akwala no o maame anase o papa British citizen anase okuta indefinite leave to remain there. Sa akwala no yawo nato ahindie mu mfa ne sa.
Okay. Yes.
Into a citizen by default under section 1 of the British Nationality Act no. Into sa akwala no ya yebe say Ubeye the passport no amano because time I want no na say but say you pre-settled no what dia ya won no o ma no pre-settled into some ma me benya settled da e say we register no before you can do the passport so the person me say you settled and I say pre-settled
and now can say so was settled no but just say na
Try or settled.
Was settled say when yamoaye na wi
Try be that was it.
Yes,
So she doesn't have to wait 1 year after they settled no.
Sanity.
Okay, and me that the
Yes, yeah, that's it. So what's your program, Nadia?
Oh yes.
Yo, mommy, that's it. Yo, yamrene ya bit na ya wo lawyer Anne, Annie, wo ha no so bema ye obecheche mu wo potokasa mu e de amaye na say question bi by me hwe eno quickly I say good morning Nana Bob the question bi I say good morning manye and lawyer I say please thank you very much oh maybe what thank you for the good work please are you going to read WhatsApp text WhatsApp text bem say ebi aba me hwe maybe WhatsApp text no ya na bebre ba ma kenkan bia but menhwe me wo ba ku bi nso okay I say good morning please how okay please how long does family route visa inside the UK? I have applied and it's 7 months and I haven't received any response yet. Thanks. And now Sandy another one. So my first one answer. Or say how long does it take? Say we year family route visa no. Need there why any 7 months ni still and by lawyers ma. Waiting time na
standard applications no waiting time the first 6 months upon 9 months it's almost 12 months.
Okay, you and I mention last one. I am Reniko. Yeah, so say good morning, please. Can my daughter who just came to the UK with visit visa go to school? She's 13 years and I'm also on the 2.5 half year and I apply for her to stay in the UK. Yeah, bro, no.
Why apply say on stay and I say because that bit is not. But you see, mind you, let's look at the purpose of the child's arrival or by visit. So call visitor. So I mess up or school. One mess up visit is visit. You finish and go back. Maybe what they have done, they said they have done application for leave outside the rules. And to live outside the rules means that you don't meet any of the rules because when you're a visitor, you cannot switch.
Yes.
But based on the circumstance, there's nobody at home, and therefore that's going to trigger serious and compelling family circumstances.
Okay.
If the child is to be sent back, and so on and so forth. And I said, I don't know the reason, but if the reason is tenable, they have maybe applied, say, the child should be considered for further extension based on leave outside the rules. meaning specific request or make here. And on that basis, my answer will be general.
Okay.
And I will say, so why your application there on train, kwesita ebaba. Some person akola no school but you need not go school try say on meji no why? So the one you don't lose anything.
Yes, because what the know there are certain documentation omubisa and sana oma accept akwala no into school na afen so oye 13 years na say bibia or be kono your application different types e boy in house e bin so from overseas into ne nyina no e wo ho nhihye a ye de ato ho na omubehwe ansana omaji akwala no e de atum in as much as omu protecting kwala say kwala at that age they should be in school no your rules govern such applications. Nti no, ma me just hwehwemu and I say ma yenhu the type of way no o visa application mo ye na ebetumi aboa akwala no na wetumi akọ school. Yo, me ma akonya lawyer and akonya na onfa the English version of the aspect na ansana ye de dwumedie na ba wiye.
Hello, good morning, everyone, and happy Friday to you all. So today I'll just be providing a short summary in English. So the topic for today was how to successfully reverse a cancellation of a child-dependent entry clearance. So when we talk about, a child-dependent visa, it's essentially where a child the child's parents have put in an application for the child to join them in the UK. So in that case, the child will be, under the age of 18, and if they are granted that visa, they'll be able to join their parents in the UK. So when we talk about dependents, we are talking about anyone who, is dependent on the person who has stay in the UK. So your dependent could be your child, your stepchildren, your adopted children, or your spouses, anyone who you provide for and you meet their essential needs. So, for example, the person is outside of the UK and you send them regularly money to cater for their, accommodation, to enable them to buy clothing, just everything that would come under their essential needs. So today, in particular, we looked at children who are joining skilled workers, parents in the UK. So we looked at the policy that was introduced on the 23rd of January 2024, which is for Home Office staff. And in part 9 of that policy, you can see so the first ground would be if the applicant is, for example, subject to a deportation order. So that's one ground for cancellation. Second of all, if the applicant is, for example, subject or they have served in prison for a time of 12 months, or if they have done anything that would, count them as not having abided to the law, so under the suitability grounds. And then if they have, for example, overstayed, that too would be taken into consideration. And lastly, their leave can be cancelled if they have, provided false representation. So that's the main thing that we looked at today. For example, they have provided false information, false documentation, for example, a false COS or birth certificate or bank statements. So how would we go about, reversing a cancellation? And Lawyer Charles provided an example, a case that he dealt with, which was successful. So in this case, a father and mother, wanted to bring in their child into the UK. However, the Home Office had an issue with the relationship, so they were not satisfied that, indeed the child was their real child. So they said that the birth certificate was fake. So we went for administrative review, whereby we challenged the decision. So we put across our case in a Section 120 notice, where we put our case across, and we basically asked the parties to provide a letter to confirm that the birth certificates were genuine. So we requested for a letter by the birth and death registry, verifying and confirming that the birth certificate was, and is genuine. And so in that case, the Home Office, they accepted our argument. And so it's important that if you're dealing with such a case where, your leave is being cancelled, that you are able to put across your statement well, or your point of view well. So if, it might be best to go for solicitors who can do that properly. And lastly, as Lawyer Charles said, the burden of proof, first of all, is on the Home Office to prove that what they're saying is correct. But at the same time, the burden of proof will also fall on the applicant to challenge the point of law. And if, the Home Office, reads your statement and they do not agree with it, then the matter can go to court. So that's where administrative review would come in, where the case would go to the Apathy Tribunal. It would first be heard on paper. And if, the judge agrees with the Home Office, then the next stage would be that it would be heard in person, which means that the applicants and the parents, they can attend the hearing alongside barristers, and then they can, put the case across. So that's just a quick summary for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Lawyer Annie. Thank you for that explanation. Me so Biafra na yewie atu as a matter of fact, na me pese me fa, but you're on it. So let's hear from you quickly before we bring the curtains to a close. Mpacho hwan na ekasa na yetio.
Lawyer Asmah Michelle. But I think they can say.
Yo, koso. Baby, I want to nice wo ho.
But the question is, I'm lawyer. I'm fan for the but maybe EU dependent. Me indefinite. And besides, who said besides because family hearing me mana. So 29,000 now. Moka who wants to say, but the key effect. I think it will go in. Me also encourage no me pika ho ana that 29,000 na nisika wo say.
No a omoka say ba ne sa eno a na Lawyer Asmah bibi foforo ho ha
I'm patcho no
on fashion kan ho biem why.
Okay, the fan on nkwa no do
Patcho
for them 29,000.
Almost say no why.
But you see, I mean, at the end of the day, since the officers say nfa nkwala no do, I don't think say we dey nkwala bebre but over a creative problem ama wo ho ni aban. Maybe I obeda no ade. So I think a reasonable number. Why?
Yo, what yes, Isaac, what yes. Now, last one. So not just so been so beside say, increment na ban or see a bear affected child skilled worker application from Ghana. Now, I don't know. See, please, would the increment affect the child skilled worker application from Ghana? Child skilled worker.
Increment IHS, Adena Bosman.
I don't know. And now I see the increment ban. It is in your state, you know.
Okay, reference is normally with health and care visas, because of the nature of SAR program, health surcharge waived.
Okay.
Into which as a call application, I'm sure the number of years, or more 2-3 years, and I almost 370 something dollars. No, I'm there 5 years, almost about 700 and something dollars. Into which more just a visa fee.
Yes.
Why? And the IHS no can't health and care skilled workers, but other skilled worker route in the health and care, but IHS, why?
Okay. Yo, last my say a heart na di dwumedie no ebeba ewie ye mre ne kokra. Itiefo na hwefo nyame adomochna. The community and the law no ebeba, so we have a very powerful topic to discuss. And I believe say we join here ubenya uchefa it will make a date with us. Na answer na yebe kokra Lawyer Asmah the last message you cry betwa to e dia my na afide. Ya sorry na so to Lawyer Asmah Yeti uden na odi gya ye ne mfa hye nkutoku
How
ano.
many questions are there? Yo, etiefo ne ahwefo, and then so yeah, that obi biara se when yambre na yetumi asua ade ebedu impempen so. Na ye kan say oba ebedu airport no ye cancel ne visa. That should not be the end of the world. For modern na get in touch. Na yebeboa wo ema kwala no edikan akofie da eto aso no wenya nia esese onya. Na mbom eye adwuma. Adwuma ne say ye no be ye adwuma na ye nyoma bi efi ho na ye de atoto ho na ye de mra no anya ye nim no atoto ho na ya mafikasimfo ehu se ne omo ye no omo anye ne yie. So mo ama mo nsa so abanse so mo adwen dia na de kowie court judicial review. But na ye kan nyina ne say omo otumi say so omo ma visa wo ukromu a na obedu airport ha omo otumi say ombe kwahye na say omo ye satisfied a omo cancel o visa no. Date omo de cancel no, that is the date of more or less refusal, and that is the date SSI will start administrative review within 14 days because we krum hadada. But because wo parent one, you have family life as well. So your article 8 is also intact. And also eboa o sa ekwan so. You know be collaborate near making sure say ne omo hia no yenya na ye da account evidence no na ye da akoma fekesimfo. Nti di kan ne awode your application nyina no wo be bo modern say wo be ma lawyer no ene foforo a ye hia ye de be kan ho a lawyer no be kasa no enso wo de be kan ho na da akọ. But you have 10 days within which to provide the evidence after you have submitted the admin review application, and you have 14 days after the cancellation within which to submit the administrative review application. Administrative review £80. So koba say we succeed here, I'm going to do £80 by my back, less small administrative fee. And koba sa and the education court. Court there and the judicial review. Barrister bebem na yane omo akwachi. But the yakan in any inane say koba sa that should not be the end of the road for you. The reason why we have the law is to ensure that there is fairness and justice for everybody. And that is what we do at BWF Solicitors. We use the law to protect people like you whose rights are trampled upon. Shalom.
Yo, peace. Ne yede asoso ama Asmah yeda si bebre yidi say emre ne call client twen wo. Se wo hia Asmah na wa hwe wo nsem ama wa no obetumi either consult BWF Solicitors omo number no ana say obetumi afre Asmah on 07947636037. Obetumi afre no mesa boso biom 07947 636037. Ubetumi afre Asmah na kuhunu ubetumi ediwe kaina wasolve problems on nyamenti ebe ye nti no meda obi bia oba so nyina meda say ayembia mentumi ansa wo question na pacho enye bo apaye edemra emre na ye adwuma ochina community and the law ibetumi ede abaso na ebisa ma mediane manyeti say weni gi program ayeye ye ho na weni asode a mesro like the page bomodia like na love because we're in the month of love na fe so subscribe to our YouTube channel no na yentumi enkoyi no nyame nka yin. Have a beautiful weekend and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.
Welcome to BWF Solicitors, a trusted and experienced family law firm specializing in immigration and naturalization, as well as dispute resolution. Meet Bernard Owusu, our esteemed senior partner with over 30 years of experience and known for his expertise and dedication to serving our clients and the community. BWF Solicitors stand for integrity, respect, excellence, teamwork, diversity and inclusion, and service to the community. We provide tailored assistance across all areas of UK and Ghana law. At BWF Solicitors, every day is filled with dedication, creativity, and a commitment to finding the best solutions for our clients. Led by experienced senior partner Bernard Owusu, the team at BWF Solicitors is ready to assist you with your immigration, naturalization, dispute resolution, family law, new wills and probate, Ghana law and practice needs.
We are dedicated to providing solutions to our clients' problems.
You can find us at the 4th floor, Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road, Seven Sisters, London, N15 4NP. Main office line 0208 493 7340 or our emergency line 07712 761 884.